This is your daily market recap for Monday, August 15, 2022.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Monday, August 15th, 2022. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and let's get into it. First off, if you are new to the channel, link to the Discord room is in the description below. This channel really is tailored for traders who are been in the market for 1 to 3 years, looking to take their game to the next level, knowing what and how the markets function versus just genuinely following the masses. That's what we're for. And again, if you are new, stop by the Discord room. Tons of information, all sorts of things, rules, insights, videos, back to basics videos. Please subscribe. I'd appreciate it if you find value in it. And yeah, let's get into it. Interesting day because what? It is the Monday of options expiration. Over the weekend, everybody and their brother, mother, father read the news about what? The markets are heavily this, heavily that. The market's going to go higher. Bear market's over. 50% tracement invalidated. Everything to make it seem like all is good. Now, how do we interpret that near term? Well, be safe. That's all I would say. If you're looking to short, define your risk. If you're looking to long, please take profits into the up moves. Do not believe in any certainty because guess what? The market is a what? A mechanism to take money. And it is a trader's market, aka bear market. It is not over by any means. I promise you that. There is not a magic pill I mean, not a magic pill. There's not a magic like bell ring at the highs nor the lows other than sentiment. And now sentiment is getting to the extreme bullishness. That's all I have to say. Just like when we picked the bottoms in June, what did we notice? Certain things. Again, we'll talk about it in this video, but just be aware. Bitcoin just looks like it's flagging up. I really don't have anything other than a lot of sorries for potentially folks because I don't think Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. Neither is gold. Neither is the market. This chopping action precedes what? Chop to flop. Maybe it just needs to get there at the end of August and then it fails. I don't know. Or if you zoom in, the candles are starting to look very wicky. When I say wicky, they have long candle wicks. Long candle wicks can precede drops or longer or indecision in dojis. That's all to be aware of. Oh, Nikkei 225. This is interesting because I was telling people how the Nikkei, how Japan stock market literally went all in quantitative easing, and their market has never retested the highs. We'll see if it ever happens, but that is not how you run an economy. That's just not how it runs. Not smart. We know that. Let me zoom back in. Oil. Let's get on the daily. What have we said? Over and over and over and over. At some point, it's going into the 60s. But it could hold up high and tight along the channel or a range bottom, point of control. What is the big news? Well, at this point, I would just be wary. I mean, I got people who have to go long and have to be short oil, and it's just like, man, there's just easier trades out there, folks. I just worry. People really, again, I would like when I'm shorting something or trading something, I want to take as much geopolitical risk. Hence why shorting right now seems very what? Reasonable to me. Why? At this point, what? Does it not make sense that at a certain point, all risk takes, say, tech down or stocks down? Not all risk takes oil down. That's all I got to say about that because we know geopolitically there's a lot of crap going on. And that's all I'm going to say. I just hate to rehash it, but I get this question every day. Buy oil, short oil, buy oil. I'm like, just leave it alone. You're in the middle of inflection points. Between 130 and 60. Well, you're literally basically in the middle. Do you want to pick the next direction? I would try to wait for an extreme. TLT, what do we say? TLT leads the market. TLT, bottom first, then the market. TLT starts to spill. Then the market. Now, at this point, we were bullish when the market was rising because we thought stocks would lower yields. Now what has happened is you have broken this channel, correct? Let me take this out. Have we not broken the bottom of the trend? Right? I mean, it's clear as day. That's what it's done. So if you want to get emotional and argue about it, I get it. There's a lot of people here who come in and just say, it's got to be this and it's got to be that. And it's like, it doesn't have to be anything. It just is what it is. So at this point, now it's breaking. Higher yields. The market's not going to like it in time. It's a fact. Think about it. Everyone wants to see what? Low yields. Everyone wants to see what? Easy money. The Fed pivot. Well, the Feds have not pivoted, folks, because if they did, TLT would be skyrocketing and yields would be dropping, but they're not. Keep that in mind. Here's another thing. The dollar would be crashing if the Feds were pivoting. But what do we say? They're holding the 28s. I always say this. The dollar ends with a moonshot, not a grenade explosion. Think about any top you've ever seen in a major name. What does it do? Like the top is that straight line move, just like the bottom. The bottom is a straight line, washout, game over. Everybody hates stocks. That's the bottom. Well, what's the top here? Everybody loves the dollar. Well, I know for a fact, just like we all do, everybody doesn't like the dollar. So that's what I think happens in the end. And ultimately, a lot of it has to do with what? When the poop hits the fan, what are you going to buy? The euro? The yuan? You want to buy yen? You want to buy a South American? You want to buy a South American currency? You want to buy an African currency? You have to transact. I mean, again, I believe gold, silver, long term, probably even certain digital currencies will take over. I wouldn't say take over, but they'll have a strong presence and an up move at some point, right? And what do we know from that point going forward? Well, I mean, the central banks will lose control. It's just not now. It's just not happening. That's sorry to say that. The VIX, what do we talk about? This big red candle probably going to be close to the bottom. How much further can the VIX go? I mean, I don't think you're going to get below 18s. This isn't a bull market, folks. This is a trader's market. And if you don't know why, we'll pull up the SPY here shortly, but that just is what it is. And what happens during a trader's market, you get you get these highs, nice VIX market crash risk, crash underway, and then you turn around. And then you get back to complacent at the lows, but you get higher VIXs. Not higher VIXs, you just don't get the bull market low VIXs, which are usually in like the teens to 12. Somewhere in this, I mean, that's, you can zoom out even further. Yeah, somewhere in this like 12 to 16 range. I'll show you on the monthly why I think this. So again, chopping before the break down and the break up in VIX in 2007, 2008. Here you go. I don't really consider COVID predictable in the sense of like a market crash because it was like very quick overnight. And I mean, we saw it come. We actually traded, did really well on it, but it wasn't, what it best to describe it. It wasn't like a typical market inflationary leads to higher rates, leads to a bear market kind of thing. It was just an overnight spectacle, which, I mean, whatever, over weeks that led to what? More QE, more inflation, right? Well, where we're at is what? You see this? Higher lows, chopping. Where's 2008? It's like, man, you just had it. Pretend this is now, right? Here you are. You're just chopping. Notice that August was the bottom. What month is it? August. Now, does the market have to crash during OPEX? That becomes the biggest question. A lot of it has to do where you're at. I would argue that the VIX being at these levels will probably find its way higher and there will be a wick on that candle. But do we know anything for certain? No. That's why if you were buying options, you promise me if you're swing trading them, they don't have an August handle. They do not expire in August. Please, just don't do that. SPY. We have said multiple times, when we got stopped out, now what? Start layering back in because there's three potentialities here. You hit the trend line everybody expecting in the 200-day. Literally, everybody's thinking it, folks. Nobody's out there going, oh, where's the upside target? Everybody's looking at the same target. So it's going to be one of three things. You short arm it, which I consider short arming, like everybody's expecting it doesn't get there. You hit it directly, or you go a little higher and then you fail. Well, what did the trend at the lows do, Dan? Well, remember we had this, too much. Had this nice downtrend. Well, look at it. You blew below it. Remember, bonds, they bottomed first. Market, what? Followed. Gap down. Took out the trend. Everybody's bearish. Everybody game over. Nobody was buying except you and I and the people who follow in this channel. Now we're looking at bears. We're at the top. Now, again, if you started shorting here, you did pretty good later, right? Remember, it took time. Again, give yourself time. You're probably going to get, I've said this before, if you pop up, you're going to fail back to somewhere around the 410 area, maybe 400 level, whatever. I don't know how, we don't know. Well, there'll be some big move to reverberate back, and then that should be the lower high to short the absolute, you know what, out of the market. So keep that in mind. Like, again, this is all positioning for the trend, because what usually starts a trend? A professional gap, right? Professional gap, right? Professional gap, two professional gaps. Baby professional gap, baby gap. Here I'm talking about like you drop, you come back, and then boom, then it's game over. I mean, the best way to describe it, here you go, here's the little gap, little gap. It just really depends on the velocity, but also keep in mind, this is a more mature bear market. If the market starts peeling like an onion, everyone's going to be crying. This isn't the beginning where people are unsure. Think about what's going on in the world. I mean, take note of it. Like, there is a lot of bad things that the market is not discounting. And one of them being potential more war stuff. What? China? Taiwan? What? Russia hasn't given up. China literally's got tanks in front of their banks. People stop paying their mortgages. They're literally having a housing crisis that's probably going to be worse than we ever had, because what? At least people here believed in what? The country, the U.S. government, they wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say everyone respects the government, but I would say more people in China are what? More likely to abandon the currency? You know what I mean? Like, you know, think about it. Like, people are, every time they make money in China, what are they trying to do? Trying to get it out of the yuan. They're trying to, like, invest overseas. People in America typically stay in America because we do believe in the sovereignty of our country, and we believe in our supposed fairness. But you know what I mean? It's, you know, do you want to invest in China, communist China, where you can lose your money overnight and they'll take it and they'll confiscate it and they'll tell you to come to our concentration camp and take a 2-year rest here? Anyway, not to digress, but my point being is that you got 3 scenarios here. Just keep it simple. I wouldn't overthink it, is the best way I would describe it. QQQ. Now we're going into the close, so hopefully we can kind of catch some of this. Here we go. We talked about the laggard. Remember the SPY coming up the 200-day, IWM up the 200. Who's lagging? The Qs. Volume is dying. What have I said 1,000 times when you zoom out in the monthly? Once you break the 20-month, it's game over. We're below the 20-month. Now we're at the max extreme points. Will this probably be a wick? Probably, just like you had wicks there. I mean, that's just how it rolls. Now, how much is the roll? You folks have to determine your risk profile. You have to determine how much you're willing to lose if you're wrong. Doesn't mean you should give up, but you have to be wary that if you are ultimately, say you're a great trader, ideally you win 80, 75%. It's how you handle when you're wrong. That's all that matters. That's what I'm trying to warn people here. Like, I don't think we're going to get to the 200-day. We're probably literally at the inflection points right now in the 330s. But you better have a plan. Your plan isn't just to wait for me to say, yes, no, you're good to go. No. IWM, we talk about it topping and bottoming first. Look at that. Now you're up at the 200-day, failed at the 100-day. At this point, what do you sell yourself, right? I mean, you only know your risk tolerance. I still think at some point we're lining up for what? A big trap. I mean, are we in the trap right now, or do we have more to go? I would argue we are pretty close, because again, in a bear market, what happens? You get these rallies. Here you go in 2000. This is more of a choppy rally, but look, when did it start? Peaked, failed, September. Where are we? We are in the rally mode. Do we get to the 20-month? That would be probably pretty redonkulous, but anything is possible. That's all I got to warn you. Is like, I like the risk reward, but I also don't like to lose money. But so keep capital on hand no matter what. Like, you really can't go in and all in if you want to short until what? You see the obvious move play out. The trend is your friend. And this is the thing what's interesting. It's like the market's green. All I see is red everywhere. I just see tons of red. I was telling people, like, everything just seems to be really red today. A lot of red. Now down here a little green, but just in general, for the market being up, I see a lot of red. A lot of rojo. A lot of rojo. So let's get into gold here, because this is, I've been warning folks. For the love of sweet Jesus, I say it every video, the double bottom king, no volume at the lows. I'm not even going to do it again because I do it every video. Been doing it for what seems like weeks and told y'all once this failed, professionally gapped, game over. What is today's action? Crap. Crap. Professional gap. Now, you had a gap and it turned green and it rallied right back. If this doesn't turn around soon, my gold friends, you'll be catching what I consider a falling knife. Silver. This looks dangerous. We talked about getting up here in the 19s. Ugh, screw that. I mean, when is the best time to buy silver? When the Feds pivot and when rates are going lower, or inflation or the VIX spikes. The first, like, literally wipe out, and then people start buying this. Now, does it look like people are buying this crap? I've said this 1,000 times. Please don't be early in silver. That's all I'm going to say. GDX, I've said this 1 billion times. It is acting much more inferior to the GDXJ, which is back at... GDXJ is back at the May lows. This thing is a piece of crap, and I will say it over and over. Do not buy the large cap miners when the bull move starts. Promise me you won't. Look, we got back up exactly. Again, support equals resistance, point of control, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Doink, bounced off. What have we always said, though? The best time to buy it is when the Fed, when this thing capitulates. Too bad you don't have the 2008. This thing was came a little later. You can see it on the monthly for the GDX. Turn around. And when was that? What month was that? It was October. Just be aware. Just be aware that this is not the time to buy miners. And I'll pull through them and just tell you, don't buy. Don't buy, don't buy, don't buy. Wait for AG to come on down. It's got a date and destiny probably with the retest, a minimum in the 6s. AEM, this is by far the strongest one. Why? Because you have volume at the lows. Wait for the 30s. Newmont, if you ever decide to buy this, just don't tell me. I don't care. It's probably going to hold the monthly trend line, but I just don't think it's going to have that same rip effect in it. I could be wrong. Pass. Told you to pass on it. Pass on grass. It's bad for you. No, I mean, just in general. Like, look at this, right? I mean, I've said old range highs from 2000s or what? It's channel. Just leave it alone. All right, China. What did you see the data? No, you don't. Well, check out my Twitter page. I posted about it today. Their data was absolutely horrendous. And if we have to figure it's China, it's way worse. They're saying unemployment's 19% for the youth. Imagine it's probably in the 20s. They're saying A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G. It's probably all on a level of pain worse than ever imagined. That's all I can say. They're not truthful. I mean, we're probably not even truthful either. Now what? If China's slowing, I mean, do you need all that steel? Again, look what happened. We talked about it. If you hit the 200-day, please take profits. Now you've backed off. Trade's over. The trade is over. There's your professional gap down. Just being wary. New core. I mean, all these material names. I mean, I'm going to get like 100 direct messages from uranium folks like, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I like new core long term. But I like it more down in the, I would say, 70s to 90s range. Now, that's a wide range, but just let it be. CCJ. I mean, there's so much uranium bullish news, but the action just isn't showing up, folks. And so if you want to stay bullish, I I disagree. I think you're going to see a date with the 16 to 18-year-old version of this, price-wise. VALE. Talked about this being sloppy and choppy. What is that? Is that a professional gap? I know the candles are green, but you're still just making lower lows and lower lows. That's a professional gap going down to the channel low. Arrow. A name that I was watching today going, man, the markets have, this thing has been really ripping. Oh, professional gap, game over. You seeing the recurring tendencies here of these names? They're not very pretty. Pretty. You got a pretty mouth on that one. Thank you. Thank you, Redneck, Bill, Bob. I do have a pretty mouth, so I'm told. No, I'm just kidding. Mosaic. Gap down. Professional gap. Gap, gap, gap. CF. This is one I like. Notice at the bottom you had stopping power. This one, if you see it with an 80 handle, maybe even 70s, even better. It's coming back. Talk about it could get over the channel. Here you go. Here's an example of like what the SPY could do. Get over and then fail later. We'll see. Maybe this is a buyout target. I don't know. Good old tech. AMD got the buddy pass sell from Goldman Sachs. They upgraded it, and then all of their friends sold to their clients, and then probably they sold on this day. It's going lower. If you don't know why, how tech works. Well, when the when the tech cycle ends, chips literally become a commodity. They all make great chips. Nobody is saying there's not going to be great chips. Problem is the pricing power. Then you pass the CHIPS Act, which is going to create a glut of chips. And at some point, they will be taking literally losses to sell this stuff. And if you're not familiar how all this works, I ask you to study the past, because the past for AMD, Tech, SMH, it's one of those boom busts. And not like busts like chips go and don't like disappear. It's just everybody makes great chips. Why would you want to, like, there's no pricing power. And especially with the inputs going up. SMH, we're getting close. We said you possibly could get up to the 248, 250 level. This candle was very tricky. Again, you got all the red here. Now you just need the blowout. You need the failure. Check out the monthly. We're into the, what I would consider the point of control. Could it make a wick and touch up there? Maybe. Just, I would be putting this on your short basket. IBM, we've said this works. This stock has been best. I mean, it's like IBM. You're like, IBM? Look at this thing. Oh, like the monthly. You stupid. You stupid. So stupid, Mike. What are you doing? Hey, Tony. What do you think about IBM? I like it. I like it a lot. No, just in general, we talked about the market, peaked in November, December. This thing's making higher highs and higher lows. I mean, it's acting better. Does that mean you buy it? I don't know. I think there's better trades. But Tony Yayo would say that the trend is up. Can't really fight it. Can't argue with it. Ayo, yayo. Let's run through all the tech names. Meta. This thing, we've said it was on life support down here at the two what? Oh, 155s. All right, confirmed market bullishness. Now you're getting tired at 180s. Put that on your list. Apple. Oh my God. This is hilarious. I think people don't remember we shorted this and made bukus. Now we're up here shorting. I started my first Apple short today. Feel very blessed. I didn't get the high. I didn't care. It's like, oh, I'll take 172. We're close enough for government work. Now, if it breaks out, oh my God. Who knows? I mean, honestly, I personally think they probably just accelerated their buyback because they know they're going to get taxed on it. It's such a waste of money, and history will prove to be correct that it always is, because a buyback is great for what? Pumping up the stock. It's not good for investing in the future. This is what you call a bear market rally. Leader in this thing at some point will crack. Where? Let me draw you the trend. I'm still amazed we even got to this high, but hey, good for them. Somewhere here, 170s. Oh, but you had shorted at 172, Dan. Whatever. You're wrong. Okay. Oh, you bought it down here at 133 if you were following it. Get my point. Swing trading. This isn't, don't bring a ruler. Engineers struggle with this. Got to be exact. Got to be perfect. This one has been a rocket up my tuchus. However,
I'm waiting for the waterfall action, which will follow. I've got puts that have actually been demolished, and now they are considered lotteries. But guess what? I got time. So I'm okay with it. I mean, again, they were cheap in the first place, so not really that concerned in the sense of I know my loss, and that's what's great about now. If you were shorting the stock, that would have been absolutely dumb and didn't stop out. But if you got puts and you got stopped out, I get it. Mine turned into lottery tickets, and I don't know. I'm just drawing here, and because I know a lot of people are like asking about it. I'm like, oh, what do you think, Dan? It's like, well, check it out. Check it out. Channel high. Goodbye. Long wick today. Longish wick. I haven't seen a wick that long. $2 wick on that. We'll see. Oh, Mr. Softy. Can't short this, Dan. Okay. Started layering back in today. Still got some, but like stuff that I'm longer dated. And stock. Come on. Come right to the 200-day. Did we hit it today? I mean, I think we did. I don't know. Close enough for government work. Does it go a little higher? Always possible. What is Dan's thesis? That's which has led up and becomes Mount Everest. Ultimately becomes the backside of Mount Everest. We're at the point of control. It probably fails at some point. To believe in the bull market is to low probability trade. If it goes higher, well, guess what? We stop out. We know our loss. Roblox. Talked about this every time in the 50s. Please take your profits. Please take your profits or the market will take it. I think it's a buyout target at some point, like we talked about down here. Now what? It just can't get over it. Just can't do it. Don't have the power, Scotty. I don't. Give me all you got. I'm trying, Captain. I don't got it. The engine is leaking. Whatever. It just can't get higher, man. We'll see what happens. If the market goes higher, maybe there's a consolidation and then it goes. Oh, man. Where is Tesla? You dirty. Let me just move this up here. I hope people were following. I actually did a live recap earlier, and I talked about watching the 936 area, 37. What do we say? The 50% fib. Look at that. Another little wick. Wiki, wah! DJ Magic Mike, make the car go boom. Well, here you go. Back up near the highs. Wick it again. What's the 10-minute showing us? Oh, that was sweet up here. We talked about, like, get up there, chop. Now it's not a ton of volume. I get it. If Elon's selling the stock, why are you buying? That's all I got to say. Because if you don't remember your past, you don't remember what... Oh, look at that. That just looks like Spaghetti Junction. If you don't know what that is, I think that, if I'm correct, that's an Outlaw or Outcast song. Spaghetti Junction. I love just saying that when you get too much squigglies. This is when he sold. Then you got the retest. We bought some Tesla Q calls. Try to. Man, the freaking... I bought December's. Very minimum. I got raked over the coals trying to get them, but it's a long time. I don't see Tesla. I mean, at worst, is getting back to the 51 Tesla Q. I'm probably going to... I've said this 1,000 times. Remember, it was the ultimate short of shorts on the way up. And then at the very end, the bulls got excited. They got excited up here. And now the bulls have been excited ever since. And it's like, can you see the problem here? Bulls are now bullish, like extremely, when it used to be one of those stocks that it wasn't really like, I don't really understand the value, but I'm bullish it. But everyone was shorting it and it just kept spiking. And now you're up at the highs and retail is trapped. And they're going to tell you what? You got to buy it, Scotty. You just got to keep buying it. Throw more thruster at it. Shields up. No, absolutely not. Star Trek reference. Shields up. Here comes the market maker. Ready. Photon torpedoes incoming. Just a matter of when. Elon selling. You should be selling. It's just that simple. Shields up. Absolutely. I mean, it just boggles my mind. It absolutely boggles my mind how people just, no, we'll hold it forever. You've been now conditioned to hold it forever. You shall get the results you want. EXPI, again, here's fundamentals at its finest. Great company. Woo! Down. UTHR. If I get a single, I'm going to stop talking about it because I think it's over. Talked about it. Head and shoulders top. Told you, VPA. You saw the buying power, stopping power. Came right back. Chop, double bottom. Pulled back. We said, watch out. If it starts topping, pull back. We said also, take profits up here. Notice how it ended on a big green candle that was what? Light volume. Pulled back to the breakout. Now you have this head and shoulders complex. El partido está terminado. The game is done. If you buy in the stock, I don't know what to tell you. Let's end it with the Petro. Oh yeah. Telling you, leave it alone. I don't know. I really don't know. Because geopolitically, I don't want to bet that something bad in the world could actually benefit the stock you're shorting. We do believe in demand destruction. I absolutely believe in it. If you decide to short it, which, sure, just remember, you're not at the lows, you're not at the highs. Those that shorted up here where we talked about the point of control, it went just a little higher. Look at that. Look at that. Professional gap. Yeah, came over. Gap down. Is this a gap down? You know what I mean? This is what I hate to see, a gap down and then green, but I don't trust it. Natural gas, however, we have said what? It is the king of retesting. Here it is. Compressing under the downtrend. Can you say the downtrend? Can you miss it? If you like all the accents, please leave a comment below and tell me how terrible they are. But I'm trying to keep you entertained here. Like, look at the downtrend. It's not downtrain, it's downtrend. Oh, yeah, exactly. If it breaks, I mean, you could argue this is a cup and handle. Was it taza y? I don't know how a handle is in Spanish, but whatever. There it is. Vaso de agua. There's a cup of water here. I don't know. See, just be careful. I don't know. Let's end it with XOP and ExxonMobil. I mean, we're into the blue zone. I said this is the short zone. I can't get my shorts. Can't align my shorts and my pants. No, you can see here. It's too many lines. It's in here. This is an interesting formation that it bought up. I would anticipate what? The top and the bottom, hopefully during OPEX. If you didn't watch the OPEX video, just dropped it again. I redid it because I didn't like the first one. It just sounded like crap and it was old. Wanted to update it to kind of make it better. I think I'm better at making videos. Maybe not. Leave a comment below and be like, you're fucking terrible. ExxonMobil, what do we say? Here he comes into the blue zone. I'd love to see it fill the gap at a hundo. But notice here, another point of control test. That's all I got, folks. A lot of people just, they're trying to, what I would say, be perfect. They're trying to be perfect, and I get it. I mean, I don't like being early, but what did we also learn? Like, at the lows, there's confusion and gaps. Like, I don't want to miss the 365 to 371. It's 7 S&P points. When the pro gap goes, it's going to be big. It's going to be grande. Grande stuffed burrito. Like, it's not going to be short. And so here's one of the things, again, let's like pull up the TLT. Notice the bottom, 616, right? We say TLT leads, right? Where's the bottom? Here you go. It bottomed on 614, retested 616. Here you go. TLT is topping. I mean, it looks like it's rolling over. Roll over, Fido. Rolling over. Now, if the bond market leads, you know, it's not good for real estate investing, personally. I mean, rates a little higher. I'll have to work a little harder. But keep in mind, people will be absolutely, they do. I know so many people are like, oh, I'm scared to buy. I'm renting now. It's like, well, your interest rate's 100% versus 6%. Great idea. Awesome idea. Well, housing's going to tank. Okay. There's an undersupply. Anyway, another time, another story. But here we go. That's breaking. QQQ should what? At some point, turn the boat around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely. Here you go. Do we see why it's like, you guys are really splitting hairs here. The headlines are really scary. I don't sit around and read them because, again, they confuse. The market maker is here to take your money, not give it to you. I hope this helps. I appreciate everybody's support. Really trying to bring great content here. And if you can check out the Discord room. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff to learn about the market. And if you think you're just going to somehow absorb it all in 2 minutes, 2 weeks, 2 years, I'm telling you, there's just endless stuff that you have to be aware of. And what is the key? You know that you know. You know that you know. And that's one of the things that you don't get. Think about this. You are, I would say, you ever captained a boat? You ever rowed a boat? You ever done anything that, drove a tractor trailer, did something that was a little more difficult than the average person? Like, it wasn't just something you could pick up instantaneously. Like, I can't just get on a dirt bike with gears and pedals, foot shifters and throttles and just when I'm gone. No, like, you got to get on it and learn how to ride it. I would say at this point, what? If you are learning and you're studying this stuff, I will gladly answer your questions. But if you come in here and you go, what's AMC doing? I don't really want to answer that question because I don't care. I want to help people that want to be helped, not people looking for the answers. See you guys and gals later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.